Lucid Dreamers. We're back, week 11, my other favorite number, creative recovery. Let's go, man. Another great week, another great week. I feel like I'm still digesting a lot. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna say in this video today. In all honesty, it's up in the air. But I think as I reflect right now on camera, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come up. I think it's gonna be a lot like the last time where I thought like a lot didn't happen, but like, I can feel more so the cement drying on everything that we've done so far. I don't know, in a way that's gonna perpetuate who I am and how I continue to grow and be an artist in that way. I'm making a lot more creative decisions. I'm hearing a lot more music in my head, and I'm getting really, really, really passionate about everything again, which is so exciting. Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's get into it. Recovering a sense of autonomy. This week, we focus on artistic autonomy. We examine the ongoing ways in which we must nurture and accept ourselves as artists. We explore the behaviors that can strengthen our spiritual base and therefore our creative power. We take a special look at the ways in which success must be handled in order that we not sabotage our freedom. So, week 11 was, again, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting to the point now where I can tell the course is ending. And so, sure, there's always something to learn, but, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that graph of when you're like a novice at something, when you pick something up for the first time when you're a novice, to when you're an expert, like the scale of improvement over time. And you got your y-axis and your x-axis, and like it starts off like at a really high gradient, and then it just kind of like caps off, you know what I mean? I feel like I can feel I'm capping off. And what was really cool this past week is that the conversations that I had with people who I've been talking to throughout this whole thing, multiple have actually said that they have recognized a real change in how I'm applying myself just in like everyday life, you know what I mean? Like, I think for me, that was the most important thing to make sure. Like, I would have loved to hear. I think whenever I do something or learn something, I internalize it a lot. I don't think I always remember the quote, but I always live it when I pick it up. And this book too, oh, Tino, what did you learn in week 4? Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to go back and check. I have no idea. But I can promise you, I'm living it right now. And so hearing that and hearing how much people are enjoying these videos and what I'm doing and, where it's taking me, I think has been like the biggest, I've grown out of needing other people to say yes for it to be real, right? But hearing it ain't that bad. I'm not gonna lie. And so I think, yeah, I think that was the nicest thing. Again, the cement is drying. And here I am before you, a different person from who I was in week 1. Life is still moving forward. Time is still moving forward. Who I was in week 1 was me. Who I am now is me. And I think the music is gonna reflect like the growth. And that's what I think I'm most excited about, because I can tell that my perception of how my career is gonna look and who I am as an artist, as a person, son, friend, brother, you name it, like it's not separate anymore. I think that's the biggest thing. It's that it's a way of life for me now. Who I am and everything is just a way of life. So yeah, man, let me stop rambling. Acceptance. I'm just gonna go through like the different chapters in week 11. The first one spoke about acceptance, and I guess very important way to start this week. If we're speaking about autonomy, for me, it felt like okay, you have learned all these lessons and we've been on this journey. and you're still on the high. And I'm not the type of person who does New Year's resolutions, right? Because I always feel like people attach the hype of the holiday of New Year's Day to the goal. So I'm never the type to go, okay, New Year, new me, or oh, New Year's resolution is this, that, and the third. Like, I'll just start it. And so I think this chapter is detaching the excitement of doing the course from the teachings, which to me is such an important thing because I know how easy it is to get caught up in, oh, I'm doing the artist way, this, that, and the third. And then as soon as it's done, I'm not doing artist states anymore. I'm not, like meditating on who I am or moving forward, with everything that we've gone through. And, I'm going back to not being able to say no to people and all these things. I don't want that to fall away. And so the way Julia starts this chapter off, she goes, acceptance. And, it's the main thing is acceptance of this is who I am. And it means that this is what life comes with. So, for example, as an artist, my life might look very different from other people's lives. I want to be able to spend time doing other things, but I have to commit myself to things that other people don't have in their lives. Like, I understand things in a different way that other people might. I enjoy things in a different way that other people might. I'd be listening to a song and I always try, like, I hear so many elements in the song, bro, like in music, like did you see the way they changed the vibrato of that thing, or how the voice became more breathy there and the pause came in, and you know like everything, watching movies, looking for metaphors, my brain just does it automatically, you know what I mean? Like, even when I'm alone, like, that's just how I consume things. That's how I consume the world. Like, we could be walking in the park, I just consume it like that, you know it means not everybody's going to understand. And I have to accept that. I have to accept that my life is going to look different from other people's lives. And that's true for everybody, right? Like, you are who you are, you like what you like, and you're going where you're supposed to go. And if you're really staying true to where you're supposed to go, you have to accept that, if that means that you can't see people as often as you would like to, or you can't enjoy some of the things that other people enjoy, or people make you feel like you're very different because you are very different. Like, that's what comes with it. And so I think what all of this leads to is, like, I have a very strict schedule. I feel like I'm a very structured person, right? And I have a strict schedule that I used to be really good at following. When I'm in my bag, I follow that schedule to the T. It's hourly. I have like my yearly goals until like 2060, like set up. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing all the time in order to get to where I want to go. And it's difficult because I always feel like I have to deviate. Like recently, when I started falling out of creating all the time and, allowing myself to do the things that I'm supposed to do, I fell out of that structure. And I convinced myself that, oh no, but this is more important anyway. So just do that. And it takes away from what I'm supposed to be doing. Who I am isn't just who I say I am, it's what I do. It's what I think about all the time, most of the time at least. So I have to accept that I need to be back on my Zoom, for lack of a better word. The next one was success. Success was coming to grips, like, I know I've spoken about this before, but I have always been like sickeningly, disgustingly competitive. I feel like I am a very healthy version of competitive, though. I don't think I'm toxic. My competitiveness is never to bring anyone down or anything like that, which is why I know it's a superpower. It's not something that is a hindrance to who I am. No, that's a part of me, a positive part of me that pushes me forward to do things. But because I kind of put it down for so long, it results in you losing the hunger for what you want. And and that's just me, that's how I do things. I like to talk, but I be hyping myself up. I be hyping everybody else up in the situation. Like that's just how I do things. Success is inevitable, bruh. Success is inevitable. I think what I got from here is that success comes in different forms, and all of those different forms, I shouldn't be afraid to chase it, as much as my spirit is pulled towards it. And then the next part of this chapter was the zen of sports, which I also really love. I love being active. I love doing things all the time. I've taken up so many things, so many just that feel like me and that add to that competitive spirit again, and just like going after things and feeling good. And as much as really good ideas come out of the shower, I feel like really good ideas, and she spoke about it in here, like really good ideas come out of like doing things without thinking. And when you're playing sports, sometimes, like if you get in the zone, for example, like people in sports call it the zone. When you get in that zone, everything makes sense. When I'm making a song and I reach a block and I go take a walk and I come back, everything makes sense. When I'm feeling stressed and I go shoot some hoops or whatever, like everything makes sense. Playing tennis, going to the gym, doing reps, like everything. And that's a big part of my daily schedule that I need to make sure I'm keeping on, because I can feel the effects not just on my body but on my mind, on my spirit, everything. I'm trying to live a long, healthy life, and that includes like my state of mind and my state of being, not just my body, as much as I'm taking care of that too. So I think she spent the most time talking about that, the most time. And the final part was building an artist's altar, which I feel is my studio here. Y'all can't see a lot of it in here, but my studio here is my altar. She said, like, put things that you really like. I got my vinyls up, my LEDs, I got my artist prayer over there, I got my goals, my MPC, everything. Got the lights going, everything. And I think this is just, have that area where you can come to be creative. Have things that keep you active, that keep your brain flowing, your mind, in zen, so you can keep working. Identify what success looks like to you so you can work towards it. Like all these different things. I'm forgetting what the first thing was now. The first thing was acceptance. Accept what you have to do so that you can move towards the success and then perpetuate who you are as an artist. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I've been doing my morning pages. I took a voice reading of reading the basic principles, like these were the tasks. I wrote down my artist prayer. I wrote down the revised version. The version I have up on my wall actually is not the full version that I've been saying every day for like the past year and like a half now, actually. Every single morning I wake up and I say that. I don't know if she calls it an artist prayer. I just defined who I am, like above and beyond being an artist. Like that's who I am, and I just have it on the wall, and I know it by head now, so I just say it every day. Honest changes, like think about how I've changed since week 4. That was a really good one. Just understanding the power that I've gained, you know, in this world. 5 ways I'll change as I continue on my way. 5 ways I plan to nurture myself in the next 6 months. I did most of them this past weekend. Actually, I was looking back before I started this video, and I said, "Oh, I did this past weekend," which was so crazy. Writing a letter to my inner artist, I did that too. I like that. It was reminiscent of the early weeks where I wrote to my child self, and I think it was my 8-year-old self and my 80-year-old self. It was reminiscent of that. But my artist self being I guess I would like to say the present day self, present day me, even though Julia likes to call it the artist child. That's just who I am. That's me. Re-examining my God concept, does my belief system limit or support my creative expansion? I think we serve a limitless God. So, I already knew that. I don't think I needed to do that, but it's always good to keep in check of like how you view God. And he's boundless. So I know my only limits are the limits that he places on my life. And then examples of personal synchronicity, I see them all the time. Lucid dreamer, you know, I like to think that's like my X-Men superpower. I like to think of everybody in my life has like a superpower, kind of like the X-Men that they were born with. And people have multiple and this, that, and the third, people can have the same ones, but like I just highlight specific ones I see in people. Like some people can convince people to do anything, into any deal or, to get things from, not in a bad way all the time. Some people are just like really lucky. Like if they need something, the person who can give them that thing, like they find them, you know? Like other people, like things just work out for them. Even when it looks really bad, things just work out for them. Like there's so many different powers that people have in the world. And like mine is just lucid dreamer, man. Mine is just lucid dreamer. I say things and things happen, literally. And so synchronicity isn't something that's alien to me. I just need to keep going with it and be confident in it. I can feel when it's really powerful. But just keep moving with your power, man. And take the time to discover like what you are good at, because most people don't realize like, oh, like I am really lucky, or people do gravitate towards me so easily, compared to other people, or I can like walk into a room and demand the attention. Like there's so many things you can do. Like if you can figure out what your power is, you can move forward with that and use it to your success. So yeah. So yeah, I feel like I've been yapping. I feel like I've been yapping, but last week, let's go. And then after this, music. After this, music. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Peace. I almost forgot reading next week's chapter, Recovering a Sense of Faith, week 12. In this final week, we acknowledge the inherently mysterious spiritual heart of creativity. We address the fact that creativity requires receptivity and profound trust, capacities we have developed through our work in this course. We set our creative aims and take a special look at last-minute sabotage. We renew our commitment to the use of the tools.